Good morning and welcome to our Sunday service. Whether you are joining us in person or online, we are delighted you're here and we hope you will come again. To learn more about how you can become an active participant in our faith community, contact me, Tina Lewis, at tlewis@unitytemple.org. I am happy to set up an in-person meeting, Zoom or phone call with you to learn more about what you're looking for and to share ways you can get involved. You may also fill out a visitor form on our website at www.unitytemple.org. I look forward to being in touch with you soon. This month, our amazing auction committee is hard at work collecting creative donations primarily made up of social events to nurture our relationships while supporting our annual operating budget. To learn more about how you can help, stop by the auction table during community hour or email the team at auction@unitytemple.org for more information. And now, please enjoy the service.
Good morning. My name is Amy Conrad, and I serve on your Board of Trustees. My pronouns are she and her. And if you wonder why board members state that every week, just peek at the headlines. The world needs our UU voices to create safe spaces. Wherever you are in the sanctuary, on YouTube, I sincerely hope you are warm enough this morning. It was a rude 14-degree awakening. If you are here in the sanctuary today, we hope you join us for some community time right after service. Friends, our annual fund is currently at just over 70% of our goal for the coming fiscal year. Great job, everyone, but let's not stop there. If you have yet to do so, please send in your pledge soon. It helps us make an accurate estimate for the budget we present at the annual meeting next month, and generally helps us sustain so many wonderful things happening in our congregation. Each week, we remind ourselves of our congregation's core values: connection, transformation, justice, and acceptance. Our mission is to embody those core values in our daily lives by welcoming all, inspiring compassion, nurturing wonder, and serving community. We are so glad that you are with us today. We hope you find meaning here. We hope you find inspiration here. We hope you are warmed up by the light of being together. I invite you now to take a moment to greet one another both online and in the sanctuary.
Our chalice lighters for today is the sibling duo of Jack and Arlo Reidenauer. Jack is 13 years old and has grown over 8 inches in the last year, much to our amazement. And Arlo is 6 years old, loves pizza, and loves to do crafts and play Animal Crossing. Please join me in the words of our chalice lighting. We are Unitarian Universalists. This is the church of the open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other.
This is the 2022 Fall Chalice Singers, and we're going to present Jubilate Deo to you first together and then in round.
Welcome, all who come in friendship, who long for genuine community.
May you be graciously received here as your authentic self.
Welcome, all who come in curiosity, full of questions or simply open.
May you embrace wonder and encounter new delights.
Welcome, all who come heavy with fatigue, weary from the troubles of the world or the troubles of your particular life.
May you rest and be filled in this sacred space.
Welcome, all who come with joy for flowing rivers and gentle breezes or crisp mornings, for changing skies and great trees.
May the grace of the world leave a lasting imprint on you.
Welcome, all who come with thanks for the altruism of the earth and the gift of human care.
May your grateful heart overflow and bless those around you.
Whoever you are,
wherever you are on your life's journey,
and wherever you are in the world,
you are welcome here.
Come, let us worship together.
Please join me in saying the words of our covenant, which you can find in your program or on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, things that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
Love is the doctrine of this congregation. We say that every week. And sharing the joys and sorrows of our lives with each other is one of the ways that we embody love. It is one of the ways that we build the network of community in which we can live our mission. We are going to try the joys and sorrows a bit differently today than we have before, and we're going to test this method out for a few months and see how we like it. Before the service each week, there will be a binder that is outside the doors to the sanctuary, and those of you who attend in person are invited to write your joy or your sorrow in the binder. For those of you online, we will review the chat each week and make sure to incorporate what is typed in the chat that is obviously meant to share. So please make sure to highlight if you want an item shared in the next week's joys and sorrows. You can still email your joys and sorrows to us. The new email address is joysandsorrows@unitytemple.org. And whether you're sharing online or writing in the binder, please do make sure to include your name. Here are the joys and sorrows for today. Carrie Vitale shares that her sister, Sue Michael, died peacefully at home in Twining, Michigan. She was 66. Sue had the heart of the poet and will be missed by her family and friends and some of the women here at Unity Temple who knew her from the letters from Sue, read at the women's retreat for many years. Her obituary ends with these words: "In remembrance of Sue, we ask that you pay special attention to the colors of the sunrise, the eagles flying overhead, and all of the beauty of nature, as Sue did." Mary Ann Hurd expresses gratitude and joy for a new grandniece born just about 8 hours ago. Beth Dowell asks for healing thoughts as she recovers from a work-related injury. We'll hold Beth in our hearts. We also hold in our hearts the 5 people who were killed, the 18 who were injured, and the suspect in a mass shooting at an LGBTQ+ nightclub last night in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Online last week, Aiko Igrashi shared that she was happy and grateful that her 101-year-old aunt Kiku and her cousin Maurice visited a few weeks ago. On a personal note, I am happy to share that I am celebrating my 29th wedding anniversary today. Thank you. So don't ask me to do anything after church. In just a moment, I will invite anyone who has a joy or a sorrow in their minds or hearts to come forward and silently drop a stone into the bowl of water that we have. There is a bowl of beautiful stones and a bowl of water. The bowl represents the container we create by our intention in this worship space, and the water represents the community we create within this sacred container. The stones mingling our joys and our sorrows represent how life is made up of the good and the bad, the happy and the sad, and that here we work to create a beloved community as we bring our whole complex selves and share them with each other. As people are coming forward, the congregation will join in singing song number 123, Spirit of Life. The words are also printed in your order of service. And we're just going to repeat it until everybody who wants to has had a chance to come forward and drop a stone into the bowl. Since this is the first time we are doing it, I'm going to give you a bit more direction than normal. As you come forward, I'm going to ask that you please form lines along the side and then return up the middle aisle. So choir, we're going to have to make room for people to come down the sides. Okay, all right. The choir knows what's up. Excellent. They're going to go after they start singing. You'll get to practice your merging at a couple of different points, so let's do this a little better than we do on the highways, please. And there are two approaches to the bowl, whether you're coming from the side, so we'll just keep going one side after the other and alternating. Now hold on just a moment, because I also want to give our folks who are online some instructions for how they are going to participate. So those of you who are online, I invite you, if you have a stone or a chalice, to hold it in your hands, to type a joy or a sorrow into the chat for us to share next week, or to express your wishes and condolences and what you're holding in your hearts today. All right. I now invite the congregation to join together in song, Spirit of Life, and anyone who feels so inclined to please come forward and silently drop a stone into our bowl of water. Spirit of life and love, mystery and wonder, we are so grateful for the gift of this religious community, a place where we can come together across ages and generations and other things that divide us, to pay attention, to celebrate, and to pause for a moment of gratitude. This has been a hard year, a hard several years for many of us. We have struggled with sickness, loss, death, violence, so much to be sorrowful for. And still, as hard as it has been, we find new ways to celebrate. We celebrate new life, exciting transitions. We celebrate our friends and our family and our community. God of many names, we ask that you be with us in the coming days. Comfort those of us for whom this holiday speaks of sorrow, of loss, and generations of oppression. If there are hard truths to share, give us the strength to speak them in love. If we need patience for whatever reason, help us find it within ourselves. May the joy outweigh the sorrow, and may the love outweigh everything else. And so we give thanks. Blessed be.
I'd like to invite our young people to come down for a story, a message for all ages. I'm excited too. Good morning. You have this book? Great. So today in our worship service, we are talking about gratitude. And the book that I'm going to share with you today is sort of highlighting how to appreciate someone in a different way. And after our story is over, instead of going to our religious education classes, you're going to go back to sit with your grown-ups, okay? Okay. Story for today, the title is Frederick by Leo Leone. Raise a quiet hand if you've read this story before. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away, the barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except Frederick. I think this might be Frederick. It is. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, And now, Frederick? I gather colors, answered Frederick simply, for winter is gray. And once, Frederick seemed half asleep. Are you dreaming, Frederick? They asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, Oh no, I am gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we will run out of things to say. The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. They remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how they're golden glow?" As Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies in the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "And the words, Frederick." Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from the stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick, they said, you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and shyly said, "I know it." The end. You can all go back to your grown-ups.
Looking up at a sunny sky, so shiny and blue, and there's a butterfly. Well, isn't that a super fantastic sign? It's gonna be a fantastic day. Such marvelousness it's gonna bring. Got a pocket full of songs that I'm gonna sing, and I'm ready to take on anything. Hooray! Some super fun surprise around each corner. Just riding on a rainbow, gonna be okay.
feel like we should quit while we're ahead. Thank you, chalice singers and choir and Marty and Peter. Holy moly, I am verklempt. Totally. That's one I'm going to go back and watch on the video later. 'Tis the season for gratitude. I bet you didn't know that. Spiritual and therapeutic practices for November always seem to center on giving thanks. The 30 Days of Gratitude practice suggests that you post a journal or post on social media one thing a day that you are grateful for. For the 30 Days of Gratitude challenge, which is different than the practice, you cut up 30 slips of paper, and each day write one thing that you're grateful for on and put it in the jar, and at the end of 30 days, you pull out all the papers from the jar and read them. There are challenges and practices and journals and calendars and everything gratitude related, all ready for your consumption this month. And don't forget, gratitude is self-care. It will fix all your ills, especially if you are a woman who is overwhelmed. Do I sound a bit jaded? Did you pick up on that? I am, and I'm not. I am jaded because gratitude has been commodified. This is a really big word that means gratitude sells. It makes money. It sells books, it sells journals, it sells self-help guides. We are constantly told to be grateful for what we have, and this is actually sometimes used as a way to silence us, and sometimes even to shame us for our suffering. And it makes us feel worse sometimes because sometimes when we're grateful for what we have, we also feel bad and sad for the people who don't have what we have. So yeah, I'm a little bit tired of this gratitude will save us all nonsense. But I'm not tired or jaded, because the thing is, being grateful and adopting an attitude of gratitude really works. It can boost your mood, make you feel better. It can lower your stress, just not the way it's usually presented to us. In their book, Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle, Emily and Amelia Nagoski write that no self-help book is complete without the inclusion of gratitude. But the evidence shows that there are just two specific techniques that really get the job done, and neither one of these techniques involve gratitude for what you have. It turns out we should not be focusing on the what, but instead the who and the how. What does that mean? Well, first, be grateful for who you have. In today's message for all ages, Frederick the Mouse shared his own unique gifts that were different than his family, and his family was grateful for the gifts that he shared. They were grateful for him. And I think most of you, are super grateful for the gift of music that our choir shared with us. We are grateful for our choir and for the chalice singers. That's the who, right? Mr. Rogers, when he was accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award, asked everyone in the audience to take 10 seconds to remember some of the people who have helped them love the good that grows within them. Some of those people who have loved us and wanted what was best for us. Those who have encouraged us to become who we are. Thinking about the people, the who we're grateful for, boosts our sense of well-being. In fact, the Nagoski sisters cite a study that indicates that you can boost your sense of well-being for a month or even up to 3 months by writing a person you are grateful for a letter. And if you really want to go big, that 3 months of well-being, you read them the letter out loud in front of them. So don't focus on the what you have, but the who you have. The second way you can shift from focusing on the what is to focus your gratitude on how something happened. And this one's a little bit more complex. But to practice it this way, you think about something that happened, including the details about what everyone was involved said and did, and then you describe how it made you feel at the time to yourself. And finally, you explain how all that came to be, how what came together to make what happened just the way it did happen. So for example, when I dropped my wallet in the parking lot the other day, the person behind me picked it up and called out to me, but I wasn't really paying attention. And so they ran up to me and made sure that I got my wallet back. They didn't just give up after calling out to me. I am grateful for both the who, the person who gave me my wallet back, and also for the how, that this person behind me didn't just give up when I didn't answer immediately. 'Tis the season to be grateful and to practice gratitude. Adopting an attitude of gratitude is good for us. When we focus on the who we are grateful for and the how things happened, it enhances our well-being, it makes us feel good, and it counters stress in our lives. And so now we get to practice that, and Val will give us the details.
I invite you to express your own gratitude using the note cards and pencils provided to you in each pew. I invite you to share who you are grateful for and how you are grateful. When we name the who and the how, it deepens our sense of gratitude and brings us joy. The gratitude you write on these note cards will be collected and shared in our community. Since these notes of gratitude will be shared with the congregation, it is your choice if you'd like to include your name or not. I'll give you a few minutes to write your gratitude, and after that, I will invite people of all ages to collect the gratitude cards from the people in their sections, bring the cards down to me, and then when I receive the cards, I'm going to shuffle them up, give them back to our collectors, and as they head back to their sections, they're going to pass you someone else's card. And for our friends who are joining us online, please write your gratitudes in the chat. You can write on your gratitude cards now. If you are willing and able, please collect the cards from the people around you and bring the cards down to me on the main floor. This can be done by people of all ages. After I shuffle the cards, the collectors will become the distributors and will give the note cards back to people in the congregation on their way back to their seats. Thank you to our collectors and distributors for their efforts.
So for those of you who are dropping your cards off, you're also supposed to collect some cards. So now you have to come back and come get some cards. Does everyone have a card? All right. If you don't have a card, can you raise your hand? All right, if there are extras, we got a couple people. We got somebody down on the floor here. Where else? Somebody up there. Somebody over there, a couple people over here. All right. It's like loaves and fishes. All right. There we go. What you all may not be able to see is community in action right now, making sure everybody has what they need. It is beautiful indeed. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to invite you, don't do it yet, but I'm going to invite you to turn to somebody sitting near you. You can be in groups of 2 or 3, and we're going to share. You can share what was written on the card that you got and how it makes you feel, or you can share what you wrote on your own card. But please don't sit by yourself. Now, I know this can be hard to do, so you might want to start with introductions. Maybe you don't know the person that you're sitting near. And if you're socially anxious, maybe you can name that at the beginning and just say, hey, I'm Dawn, I'm a little socially anxious. Because a lot of the time saying that, when you say something is hard, that actually takes the hardness away from it. It actually makes it easier. But hold on just a second, because I need to talk to the folks who are online for just a minute. All right, for those of you who are watching online and on YouTube, if you have somebody in the room with you, I invite you to turn and talk to them about how or who you are grateful for. And if you don't have anyone, that's okay. Then what I'm going to ask you to do is to take these next 3 minutes or so and either text or call someone that you are grateful for a very, very brief chat. Or pull out a piece of paper and write them a letter. You don't have to send it. All right, you've got about 3 minutes to turn to a neighbor and share your gratitudes.
Keep leaving my mask.
Thank you all so much for your participation this morning. I am deeply grateful for each one of you. Yes, gratitude may be overused, it may be commodified, and at the same time, it can actually be really, really good for us, but not if we focus on what we're grateful for. Instead, let us focus on who we are grateful for, and if we're grateful for how things have happened. May it be so. May we make it so. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Here's to gratitude. Good Sunday morning. My name is Rick Van Dyke. I've been a Unitarian Universalist for 40-some years and am very grateful that I found this community. This last year I've been here at Unity Temple, and I've loved my experience. And 6 of my years as a UU, I had the wonderful opportunity to serve on the board of directors of the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. Each week, as you know, at Unity Temple, we have the opportunity to give of ourselves through our Sunday offering to an organization that aligns with our UU values and is committed to bringing compassion, equality, and justice to the world. I am totally committed to the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. It has accomplished so much since the beginning of World War II, when it was an American Unitarian minister and his wife, the Sharps, who left their home and their children here in the States, who traveled to Germany and began our work by assisting thousands of Jews and others who were escaping persecution by the Nazis. Today, UUSC advances human rights worldwide by bringing relief during earthquakes, droughts, and floods, by advocating for climate justice, by ensuring justice to fleeing immigrants, and intervening to stop sex trafficking, and advancing human rights in general around the world. Our principles guide me in my life, and this is why I volunteered my time to serve on the UUSC board for those many years. I hope that you will join me today to continue or to begin your support of this incredible organization, not only because I say that I believe in its mission, but because you follow UU principles. Please donate by placing cash or checks in the collection baskets that are being passed. If you are sitting in the back row of a section of pews, you will find a basket stored under the pew. Please pass the baskets, and someone will be at the back of the main floor of our sanctuary to collect all of those baskets. And if you forgot your wallet or your purse, you can give by sending a check to the Unity Temple office with UUSC in the memo line, or by following instructions on the screen. You won't be sorry, and what you give may bring you joy. Thank you so very much for your generating justice in this way. Be grateful. Blessed be. We are gathered together Let our gifts sing like the singing of our youth today. Thank you so much, and have a great week, and enjoy Thanksgiving, and don't forget to give to UUSC. Thank you.
Rise in body and spirit, and join me in singing hymn number 349 in the gray hymnal, We Gather Together.
You may be seated, but not if you're in the choir. May all our hours together be blessed as this one has been, blessed by open-hearted sharing, blessed by learning from one another, and blessed by making beautiful harmonies together. As you leave, I invite you to continue the blessing by putting the gratitude cards you have up on the cork board that will be in the lobby. After today's service, the cork boards will be taken to the Unity Temple Community Center at 1019 South Boulevard and displayed so that you can re-experience the joy and the gratitude in our community.
And now, please join in the words of our chalice extinguishing, printed in the order of service. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
We're going to do some dancing today. Chalice singers, let's come on down. Unity Temple dancers, the Unity Temple dancers. Now you come on, that's here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, no,
Thanksgiving.